Tiny Acres Homestead. So today we're going to try to clean out the freezer some more. We got that hog in there and it's taking up a lot of space. And I got half a cow coming too, so we need to clean out some more stuff. We're going to start today with the huge bag of fat that I got back from the pig. I'm going to go ahead and get that started to render down. I've got all of these chicken backbones in here that I need to make stock out of, and this bag is full of beef bones, so I'm going to try to make some stock out of those. I'm not sure if I've got enough room for everything today, but we will try our best, get what we can get done. And I think I'm going to put all the fat in the big turkey roaster and try to, I know I won't be able to fit all of these beef bones in either one of my crock pots, or even both of them, so I might have to wait until after the lard gets rendered before I can start on that, but we will see how it goes. So the decision, I'm going to do the beef bones in the turkey roaster, because I think after I cut that down into little pieces, I can shove it all in this crock pot. So I'm going to try to do that. So I got the chicken backbones and stuff in this roaster, or this pan right here. And I'm going to have to do the beef bones in 2 batches. And since I didn't thaw them out and they're still frozen, they have paper stuck to them still. So we'll have to get the paper off after they come out of the oven. And I've got 3 more bags that need to be roasted after these get done. Alright, so we're going to get these 2 pans in the oven. I've got the broiler on. And then we're going to get this paper off of these after they thaw out some. And then we'll get everything thrown in the pots and get everything going. So we've got all of the meat roasted and all of the paper off of the beef. I'm going to cut up some onions. Typically I would leave the skin on there for color, but there's a lot of meat on these, so I'm going to can the meat that comes off of them, and I don't want to have skins in my meat. Yeah. And I'm just going to quarter these onions. I'm going to put 1 onion in the chicken broth and 2 onions in the beef broth. And then I'm going to take this little bag of jalapenos that I bought at Walmart today and put those in the beef broth too. I like the jalapeno, the spice in with the roast beef. That's what I use for roast beef, is all of the meat that comes off of the whenever I make beef broth.
I want that thing.
The bones that we got back were really meaty still. So I'm going to take the meat from that whenever it falls off the bones, and I'm going to can that. And put a little bit more onions in there and probably some mushrooms. And with the chicken broth, I'm going to take the chicken off the bones and can it with some garlic. Ooh, my eyes are, man, onions always make me cry. So I'm just going to slice these in half and pull the spines out because I don't want it to be super duper spicy. But I do like that little bit of kick. And this should equal quite a bit of beef broth since I'm making the broth in the turkey roaster. I did get the fat and lay it on top of this crock pot here because that's what I plan on putting it in, but it's too frozen for me to do anything with right this second, so I'm gonna let it thaw out a little bit. And here's the chicken. I shoved every bit of that chicken and that onion in this crock pot. After the chicken is taken off the bones and stuff, I'll be able to add more water to that pot. And all of the beef bones with the beef and the peppers and onions are in the turkey roaster here. And this should equal a lot of broth. And I am out of beef broth, so this is just in time. But we'll take a look whenever it starts to cook a little bit. Here's the lard. I did not have enough room to fit all of that fat. This is my second crock pot load. Got one more load in the fridge of fat waiting. It's not completely done rendering yet, but I've been trying to make it move a little faster. That one I just completely overfilled because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it'll be alright. It's not that bad. But I'm just trying to, and my big strainer broke, so this is all I've got to work with. So I'm not going to do my stock today. I need to go get a new strainer, and I don't feel like going anywhere today, so I got all the meat pulled off the bones. Alright, so this is a bowl of beef that I've taken off the bones. I'm just going to put some semi-large chunks in the jars. These are going to be for roast beef. I don't know how many jars I'm going to need, so I got a lot. Pretty much fill them up. And I've got another bowl with the chicken that I pulled off the bone. Looks like I missed the bone. That's the best part of using your hands to dig through this, so that you can feel it if you've missed the bone. And I'm making a video. There's another bone. These were very hot when I got them out of the thing. It's a big bristle.
Big bristle? Yeah. What's
that in there? And this is the chicken. I'm just going to do it the same way. I'm not going to get nearly as many jars. Didn't have as many bones for the chicken, and there wasn't as much meat left on the chicken bones that I did have. I might get 3. even 3. Oops. Just gonna pack it down in these 2. Alright.
Stop.
Now we're going to take some hot water and put in each of these jars with some flavorings. I didn't really flavor the broth yet because I wanted the meat to taste stronger tasting than the broth. So I'm going to get some flavoring and some hot water for these. Alright, I am going to put a teaspoon chicken bouillon in each of the chicken jars, and a teaspoon of beef bouillon in each of the beef jars. And these are pints. And you'll want to thicken up your juice in your roast beef or gravy after you take it out and heat it back up. So pretty much just all you'll need is some cornstarch for that.
What are you doing?
Now some hot water in there. And I'm going to leave an inch head space on these.
Wait.
Probably shouldn't have put it in there that fast.
Wait.
You can leave that alone.
What is this?
Leave these alone. Alright, I got all 9 of these jars of meat. These are pints in my pressure canner. So I'm going to get the lid on, and these are going to, after it comes up to pressure, they're going to process for 75 minutes since they're pints. And then we'll get them out. I am keeping an eye on this. Woo, steamy. This stuff here, but like I said, I don't have a strainer today because I broke it. Here's the chicken. But, yep, we'll get that taken care of tomorrow. And so far we've got 13 jars of lard, and there are lots of fat left in the fridge, and then probably 3 or 4 more pints worth of lard in the crock pot that we need to get out. And we're just going to keep canning it until it's all used up. I still think we're not going to have enough room in this freezer for the half a cow. Pig pretty much filled it up. So we're probably going to have to put some of it in the smaller deep freezer. Right, our new handy dandy strainer. This is the chicken broth. I'm just going to strain all the bones and stuff out of it. And all of the good stuff's going to drain down into the pan. Dane, stop it. Stop that.
Hey, I have to have this. heck?
Now, since I let this cook for so long, it is much less concentrated than normal. I mean, much more concentrated than normal. And it is very, very dark. Now, let's do the beef. Alright, the bones in this is quite a bit bigger. So I can mostly just strain out the broth. I may need to put the chicken in a smaller pan so that I can have another pan for the beef if I need it. This will need to go in the fridge for the fat to coagulate on top so we can get rid of all the fat. Alright, now we've got both pans of broth in here. I did move the chicken broth over to a smaller pan because it wasn't going to fit with the big one. And the beef broth all fit in that pan back there, surprisingly.
What the heck?
I did scoop a little bit of the fat off the top just to make room. But we're just going to let these chill out in the fridge until all the fat rises to the top and hardens up. Alright, all of the fat has hardened up onto the top of these. We just need to get it off, get them heated back up, and empty the canner. Alright, we're just going to scrape the fat up here and drain all the good stuff. Beef broth is like Jell-O, just how we want it. Alright, this beef broth is like Jell-O, just how we want it. Chicken broth is not coagulated at all, but that's okay. Look how thick this fat was that I picked off the beef broth.
Johnny. What? This is dirty.
Alright, these are boiling, or heated up anyways. I'm going to do the chicken first. Big pot isn't as hot. I have to do them separate. I don't know.
I'm doing big scoops of ice cream.
I don't know why that keeps happening.
Yeah, off the heel. Get off the heel, ice cream. Ooh. Yep. That what happens. That if you use this, that what happens. Yep.
Alright, we ended up with 3.5 pints of chicken. And I think I'm probably not going to have enough room in my canner for all of these because there's a lot of beef broth in here. Unless I make a huge giant mess, which I am. Alright, there's 3 pints of chicken and 5 pints of beef and 1 quart of beef. Alright, and let's clean out the freezer. We got 7 pints of roast beef, 2 pints of chicken, 5 pints and 1 quart of beef broth, 3.5 pints of chicken broth, and 14 pints of lard. So we still don't have very much room in our freezer for when the cow comes in, but we will bring in the little freezer and we'll make it work. Thanks for watching.